Welcome, everybody to Bromos, the Good Vibes Podcast Live, aka the Bromance of Homosexuality, brought to you by yours truly, Curtis, aka C Money, and my three go getting co hosts, Boogie Oogie, Relly Rail, and Andy Shine. And today we got a special guest. His name is Q.
What's up, everybody?
Hope everybody having a good week starting off so far. How's y'all week starting off?
Pretty good. Everything's good.
Everything's good?
Right here.
How's it in California?
Definitely great. Sunny and
All right.
That part. Recuperating.
On this side, we recuperate. We just try to make it through.
Rough, but
Very
still
rough,
standing.
but we still here.
Hey, that's all that matters is that we here.
Strong.
Alive, standing. Still trying. So we gonna get on with today's episode. So today's episode is going to be about something I feel like I need to work on myself. So I did a little study and a little research to help improve in this area, which today is going to be about self-awareness. So when y'all hear the word self-awareness, what do y'all think of?
It's personal. Well, I guess when I hear self, it's personal. It's not about somebody else or what they can do for you. It's about what you can do for yourself. Sometimes we're always looking for what other people can do for us. Some things you can do for yourself.
That part.
Loving yourself. Learning yourself. Knowing yourself.
For me, as I did my little research real fast.
I mean, without the research, how just you.
At first, I thought it was like being aware of other people's intentions and that, but it's like you're not gonna get the full healing or the understanding until you acknowledge your flaws, your weaknesses, what triggers you to do the things you do and how you do it and what affecting the people around you and your world. And it's making me like this whole podcast and things that's happening in my life. This is more than just a podcast sequel. It's something I gotta use every day and try to work on because I see my shortcomings. Even though you might work hard on something, but you go with one idea or one affirmation and you think you know it all, but you really gotta dig deep within on everything you're trying to work through. You gotta face it. So
That part. And what you think of when you hear self-awareness? Self-awareness.
when I hear self-awareness, for me, it relates to self-love, learning to love and find things about yourself and love yourself, basically. So, taking that time out, personal time, is what we all need.
no judgment.
That part. So I'm gonna read the actual definition of self-awareness, which is conscious knowledge of one's own character, feelings, motives, desires, and how they influence our behaviors and others. Sum it all up, and that's basically what everybody said. You know what I mean? And to sum it all up, basically, to me personally, I've just felt like being self-aware is it's simple. Being aware of what's surrounding your surroundings. You know what I mean? Just kind of simple, but when you do your research, it's levels to it, and it's way deeper than what it is. And at its best, self awareness is our ability to understand ourselves and how we fit into the world. You get that?
I get that.
Say it like I was slow.
No.
I got a little piece on that particular part right there.
Say your piece. Say what you.
But no, it's a chart that speaks on like high self awareness, low self awareness, and then it speaks on if it's internal or external awareness and what's good and what's not. But like on high internal self awareness And on top of it, it's low external self-awareness because people introduce themselves. They thought they was clear on who they are, but through life challenges and how they handle themselves and react to things with their behaviors or habits, addictions, people that's toxic, that it still can't be like really successful until you deal with your issues at the same time, eliminate bad people or bad behaviors. And then on a high note, being aware of who you are, what you want to accomplish, seek out and value others' opinions. This is where leaders begin to fully recognize the true benefits of self-awareness. So
you're saying it's like two different types of self-awareness?
like to everything, it's a positive and it's a negative. When you think you just aware on the external part of self-awareness, but the high part on like the inside is what really matters. So I just gave you a definition of like how is that good and bad at the same time. But you supposed to love yourself and be easy on yourself. You can't judge your faults. You just try to correct and do better. In time, you gotta the smallest shit will change. That's why women always get their hair cut off, try to start all over. Like people gotta set goals and switch up something. The little things count sometimes when you're going through hardships. You know what I'm
Never
saying?
live in a pattern.
Yeah, okay. You gotta evolve. You gotta attack issues in life. This gospel, but the four of them is introspectors, aware, seekers, and people who like to please people all the time. And it's good and bad.
I fall in that category of a people pleaser, to be honest.
Right, but when you do it external,
many ways.
yeah, when you do it external, it's bad behavior. But you do it inner, you know who you are, and you know things gonna happen that's not in your control, but it's how you react and what you know what I'm saying. But it was just crazy. That's something for me to work on and reveal. It's like I'm learning. You gotta be careful who you let in your life. Real, yo. You gotta be careful who you let in your life because everybody ain't for you or everybody mad for whatever reason. But hey, I am very self-aware, inwardly and outwardly. Like I don't want nothing right now but a check. And the same face.
That's it. Okay,
but check in the same face.
Now we talking.
Bro.
What? Yes, that check.
That part.
Man.
Run me out my coins. So we got some examples of a person who is good, a high level of self-awareness, which is someone who's able to identify their emotions and what they're feeling. Recognizing your primary coping mechanism, define your own beliefs without being influenced by others. Well, that's a deep one. That's deep. Because a lot of people choices and what they do in life is kind of influenced from somebody else, and a lot of people ain't self-aware of that until they in a situation. It's like, damn, if I did such and such, like then you start being self-aware after you in the issue, the situation. Now you start being self-aware of what you should have been before getting yourself in that situation.
On that note, I thought that same way before I read this, and it's like you still don't know the outcome of your shit, whether you with somebody or not, or whatever you aiming for, and it don't happen the way you want it to happen, or you can't short of executing it. It's just like that's why you just gotta go in it and no judgment, just grow and learn from everybody's mistakes, everything that's revealed in that time or that situation. Like you really gotta love yourself all the way. Ain't no plaything.
That part.
You got to, bro. And if you don't take it to that limit, you wasting your time. You got a lot of information, but you ain't doing shit with it.
I feel like people need to learn themselves before they learn themselves.
Yeah. Yeah. Say that again.
People need to learn themselves before they love themselves.
Yeah.
Like, you just liking shit because the next motherfucker likes it. What do you really like?
Right.
Like, I feel like a lot of my friends are partiers. I'm not. I appreciate what you, but y'all can go about your way. Hey, that's just who I am. I just figure out. I just shit. That's not for who I am. Right? Well, I'm drunk. Cut that part out.
No, I'm just saying, like, everybody have their chill times, but I mean, your lifestyle, you gotta represent that too, even off the clock. So a lot of people ain't got a lot of time to party, but social
Don't be a
events.
follower.
Nah, be a leader at all times.
Basically, just don't be a follower.
I'm a true example. I got a lot of
Don't be so naive.
roadblocks, but I'm swerving them, jumping over them like hurdles, and it's hard work. It's hard work aiming and trying to keep positive through every situation. And it upsets you trying to be the bigger person, but it's worth it. It's worth it. That's when that creator kick in. Cause I ain't all perfect or nothing, but by me doing the right thing and just keep fighting for what I want to do with my life, I'm blessed, y'all.
Definitely.
I'm blessed, and I'm happy to be here with my Bromos tonight. Know that. I just came from a low down 30 place.
That part. And so another example is prioritizing what gives you joy and purpose.
Basically, we just talked about.
Yeah, that's spiritual.
Identify your strengths and your shortcomings, and knowing what you need in a relationship, and learning. I'm gonna say this twice: learning when and how, learning when and how to trust yourself. Because I'm gonna tell you one thing that I've learned that, and even sometimes I've been a victim of this, not being able to trust the next person because you don't trust yourself. So I don't believe you're gonna go over there and be good because I wouldn't go over there and be good with all of it. You know what I mean? So sometimes people don't trust you because they don't trust themselves to be in the same predicament of what you about to go be in. So trust. You gotta start learning to trust yourself. For real.
I do.
You do?
Yeah.
You trust yourself?
Start to.
And let me tell you, it took me a long time, but definitely started to working on this road to being better with this self-awareness. For real, for real. And Aaron, give us a little knowledge of your self-awareness tips and what you got to give us.
My self-awareness tip would be so much of what basically I learned to be in as far as identifying whatever situation it is, and basically knowing whatever the situation is, you have to bring awareness to. So you want to identify whatever the topic could be. It could be reading out loud. It could be the way others view you, or it could be different things that involve learning yourself, but you probably will have to change. Which I revert back to love because it took me a long time to love the person that I am today. You know what I'm saying? So I'd be happy with that whole thing, honestly. But I came with a lot of self-awareness and knowing those things about myself. Like, damn, I really don't like this motherfucker, or I really don't like this stuff about this person, or I'm cool out there. It's not the type of crowd I can be with, or I be around, or there's a lot of different things about myself that I have to realize. And it was just not me. It wasn't for me, and that was cool. You know what I'm saying? Because I never really fit in. I had a big clique of people, or stuff like that. So I had to love whatever I had and work with it. It didn't matter. I ain't got the best body and shit. I'm still fine.
Right. All right. That part, because
that's part of the self-awareness to love yourself. Yeah.
that part, because if you don't love yourself, then who is?
Right. I told my husband on Halloween. He said, "Why you want to dress up like that? And who you trying to be?" I said, "I'm being me." I'm my own celebrity, baby. I'm the star.
That part. All day, every day. That's what it's about.
Okay.
Gotta be yourself. Gotta love yourself.
So, so I got a list of 5 characteristics of self-awareness. Number 1 is humility, and let me give you a definition of that, which is modest or low view of one's own importance. Humbleness. 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 You say I got the lips to say humbleness. Let me that part, but we ain't gonna speak on that. But humbleness, let me tell you, like it's hard to be humble in a lot of situations. Like being, it's hard.
Trying to be the bigger person. And you know, somebody.
Especially if you the person that gotta get your point across. If you the person that gotta have the last word, it's hard for you to be humble. It's hard for you to just be like, you know what, because now you gonna hear what I got to say. You gonna get my point across.
It don't matter what it is. They gonna
It
get their
shouldn't
point
even
across.
matter in whatever type of friendship, relationship, whatever. Nobody's a winner, nobody's a loser. We just gotta figure out how everybody can be fair or happy about some shit. But it's like once you do and they condemn you and judge you, and self awareness is not only knowing how others look at you, but how you look at yourself, and is you happy with what you represent.
I mean, to be honest, a lot of times self-aware, like you said, ain't just about yourself. It's about others too. Because sometimes, even with me, I've been told that I'm not self-aware of the things I say or how I come off. Like, and I don't feel like I am, but they like, no, you need to be more self-aware to understand where I'm coming from and how this is making me feel. It's not just about you. When it comes to that, it's about the other person. So I'm it is, and it did. That's what made me start.
Only one. I'm going through that.
No, that's why I did my little research on this self-aware because when I think about it, there are times where I'm like, damn. I was rude. Like I didn't see it coming off rude because I wasn't self-aware of anybody else in the room but just myself. So I felt like this is how I feel. If somebody said it to me, I wouldn't be offended. But I have to be self-aware that everybody don't think like me. Everybody's not like me. So yeah,
who they are. It's like everybody, like Real said, you being a father, like you rock your characteristics change with the trend or the seasons. But it's like people not acknowledging they flaws or what they put in the situation. So if you never correcting that or facing that shit, it's never gonna fall into place. It's like you're stuck in insanity, wanting something better and out of people that you're not willing to give or check yourself on. That's false fucking awareness. Sorry, y'all.
We cuss?
yes.
We can, but we should.
Nah, we not Samuel Jackson cussing.
Right.
It may be Bill Clinton cussing. Cuss like Bill Clinton.
He cussed, but it wasn't.
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, but that Samuel Jackson. Snakes on the Plane. Y'all remember that movie, Snakes on the Plane? I'm tired of these. I ain't gonna lie to you, though. I was saying it all the time. I was quoting that movie all the time. I was getting in trouble off that movie. That was my part, though.
Make me want to watch it.
Yes, Snakes on the Plane. So the second one is we got discipline or self-discipline, however you want to look at it, which is the ability to overcome one's feeling and overcome one's weakness and to do what's right despite the temptation to abandon it. The distance between 2 points in life is determined by your discipline to get there. Let me say that again. The distance between 2 points in life is determined by your discipline to get there. Boom. Like, honestly, like, just think about it.
It's crazy because things happen and it sets you back. And I just told Kirk I just made new goals and I put some years on it, but like that's when I'm gonna be fully satisfied with how I want to be and live. So, but it ain't easy trying to keep moving forward because a lot of things you feel like you don't deserve why you, but some of it's just life, some of it's other people, some of it's you. You gotta look at the whole picture of stuff, you know. So it ain't no finger pointing, it ain't no judgment. It's seeing stuff for what it is and letting the other person who did something to you know, hey,
Or just situations in life.
boy,
Like, don't sit back and just dwell on it and cry about it. Like,
don't have a pity party because stuff happens. You gotta pick yourself back up. You gotta pick yourself back up though. Stuff happens.
Don't be the one that always needs somebody to pick you up.
No, I said pick yourself back up.
Those motherfuckers. Shit. Oh my gosh. That's just Debbie Downer. Always sad.
And then,
you ain't wake up happy.
Sometimes we talk about what people done, so we done shit to people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So when I was talking, I guess I was thinking about being aware. I guess the thought process I was having, like being sensitive to the needs. You know, if you're aware, you're sensitive to your needs, and then if it's a relationship wise, you're sensitive to the needs of the other person, so you won't intentionally do anything, not intentionally to harm that person because you're sensitive to their needs. You know what I'm saying? You're conscious of their feelings, and as self-aware, you're conscious of your feelings, and you're not going to intentionally do anything to hurt yourself. So you're like sensitive to the needs of something or someone else. If you're aware, you're sensitive to your environment. Like if you out, when you react differently when you're in the hood versus when you go to a different part of town. You're more aware. You're conscious because you know some shit can go down. You know what I'm saying?
Baby. Look right now. At work,
you might stuff your money different. You know what I'm saying?
Or if
you pull up in the hood, you gonna change your radio to your station to be something that's like Mo3 or Lil Boosie or something like that. You ain't gonna pull up in the hood.
They different.
Listening to Mariah Carey. That part. But you listen to country music right now, but if you pull up on your bros in the hood, you gonna turn that shit off. Nah, you gonna turn that shit off. Bro, you gonna turn it off.
I'm still rocking it. I'm not playing. I'll play it right now.
Cause I changed my song. I put up.
You're on the west side, right?
Just like one time I pulled up, I was listening to Whitney Houston, right?
Alright.
I was listening to Whitney Houston. I was pulling up into Whitney, but I pulled up and he said, "You put us sound like a whole bottom in that car," and I'm like, "Dang!" Because that goes. That goes back to say that because I'm a man, I'm a black man, I'm a masculine man, I can't listen to Whitney without me being feminine or bottom or something. But that's just how
was you saying it is.
Was I saying?
Was you saying?
I can't hear you.
Was I saying? And Eric, don't get me started.
What's wrong with it?
That part. Now, this next characteristic is what best friend homie Boogie loves to say all the time: gratitude and appreciation. Life has returning favors when you live it with gratitude. When you live life with appreciating what you got, not what you believe you should have. Because a lot of people are not satisfied because this ain't what I should have. So, you know what I mean? So, therefore, I appreciate everything. I believe me, my right hand. I didn't because I was spoiled growing up, but I had to learn to start appreciating, like,
I don't call it being spoiled. Spoiled. I was being blessed.
Well taken care of.
Well taken care of.
Much
That was
love.
love.
Only child.
That was love.
But see, blessed, and when I mean you're blessed, meaning you didn't have to want for anything. When I mean spoiled, meaning like spoiled rotten, like if mama cooked a meal for the house, I didn't want onions in it, she made me my own separate thing. When I say spoiled, to the point to where I haven't had to work on none of my cars, I don't really do my. When I mean that's what I mean by spoil like a baby, spoiled rotten.
He's not good with his
Can
hands.
you change the tire?
I can change the tire now.
He's not good with his hands.
As an adult. As an adult, I can change the tire now. But now I definitely learned to appreciate the things in life and where I am and not feel like I'm supposed to be somewhere where I'm not. Because if I was, I'd be there right now. At the end of the day. Period. So everybody, like you said, everybody has to find their purpose. Not everybody's here is supposed to be a millionaire because they can sing great. Not everybody's supposed to be the greatest chef. So like once you find your purpose and whatever it is, like, hey, believe me, and it'll change during your life. Cause I thought my purpose was a lot of things, but I see my purpose is my mouth, my gift. Not that way, but that's not what I mean. Not like that.
But to add to that, it's like,
Aaron, you there?
you better be.
I'm definitely here.
Okay, I'm making sure you there.
And the thing I'm finding purpose in is something that I struggle with the most. And in that, I guess, pain or suffering, that's when I found, or I'm finding purpose. I'm finding, I guess, something to give back to the world. You know what I'm saying? Um, Everybody got their own struggles and things, but it might be in that struggle that you find your purpose. Sometimes we try to run from struggle, but that struggle's there for a reason.
That's what I was going to say. Like,
hey, there's been plenty of times I try to run from it, but like you said, that's a make it through that struggle.
There's something in that struggle.
It's better than running from that struggle.
Yes.
But I was going to say, but you know, let you talk. It's like when you go through something and you make it through, that means God got something bigger and better for you. You know what I mean? And that's the point I'm looking at now. Like, it's only for a short period of time, but like, I just made it through some hell on earth type shit. So I'm emotionally messed up, but I know I gotta keep rocking with the positive stuff, like this podcast. Like, could be doing other bad things or thinking bad ways, but you know, Bromo gave me a paper and followed suit and learning myself is helping me with what I'm going through. I'm happy you chose this topic because it was meant to be heard, even for your co-hosts. You know, we all going through our stuff and we still striving to do what we want to do in life. You know? But yeah, always think about when you make it through rough times, God got something better for you. Don't give up. You gonna get it.
And that part, Aaron. And I know you definitely a person who can tell people to learn to appreciate life and what is given and blessings come even when you think it's hard or it's the end of the road and the blessings come and make you learn to appreciate life more.
Yeah, definitely. Sometimes you go through things expectation is a motherfucker, y'all.
That part.
It would be a certain way, and then when it doesn't, it's like a downfall or it could be a setback or anything of that nature for yourself. And it's also could bring you to a point of self awareness to realize the things that you probably need to change or be grateful for in your life already. You know, I've been in countless of situations that I can just name out one major one in my life. I've been homeless before, and I feel like I did everything I could to not be at that point, but I had to sit back and think about some things that I was doing wrong or some things that I needed to reevaluate about myself to change my situation. But in the same token, God still intervened and still helped me out through the whole situation. When I thought it was bad, I didn't have nothing or nowhere. He always came through. So, but I still have to love and appreciate the things that I did have at the time and what I do have now. You know what I'm saying? Because it do come with growth. And there's no way the hard work doesn't pay off. So if you're gonna work hard, it's gonna pay off. And you should work hard on self work, because it will definitely pay off, honestly.
That part.
Good,
That's what I'm talking
good,
about, my
yeah,
brother.
good stuff.
And
Try not to cuss.
the next characteristic I got down is integrity. The quality of being honest and having strong moral principles and uprightness.
It's the morals for me.
It's all of them to me. That's a group. But your morals, yeah, you gotta stand on them.
Always been tested.
And it's okay to be the only person on the left side of the room against an army of others because if you know who you are and you real about it, like God will shine your haters. He will protect you from harm and everything.
And we was kind of having a conversation about the being honest. Definitely. So we definitely were just having a conversation about being honest. You know what I mean? How a lot of times people lie, and it's like you didn't even have to lie to me because you would have told me the truth.
I might have been with it.
That part, I might been with it. So a lot of times, and I
absolutely.
Yeah. So you see how it wasn't even gonna come out these lips, and I was trying to get the words out, but it was. But I'm gonna be honest. You hear that? You hear that? Mm-hmm. I'm gonna be honest. I have to work on that because a lot of times I catch myself. I even talked to my sister one time. I was like, I catch myself lying sometimes. Like I felt like maybe because I was DL for so long and I had to lie a lot my whole life, it became normal. So it's kind of like now it's just like because even my nephew will call me and it's just this ain't good to cut. I'm not bragging about it, but my nephew will call me. He called me. He was like, I need to make up a lie for my job. Can you make up one for me? Like that's real quick, and that's how I did. He was like, it's amazing how you do it, and I just thought to myself like, that's not good that I can just lie like that or make up a lie. So that's just something. That's all this self awareness. All this is hitting me. So that's why.
That's the mentality of this society. Yeah. That's what game is, like manipulating the next person. Mm-hmm. But that's just the society. Like
that's
it's,
why
built,
it's
built on a lot. It's literally built on a lot. Yeah. Like lying to people and manipulating nations of people, enslaving them. It's all about lies. That's how it was started. And we taking on the mind of them.
We're strong, bro. Mm-hmm. And like, it's a lot of people that got mental illness, and we all do at some point. But it's like until you actually face it and heal, it's like you'll keep repeating it.
That's right. That's
and people don't understand that they say, and I was doing that. I'm tired of certain people. I'm tired of certain things, and I'm thinking I'm right because I've been doing the right thing, trying to, be fair in all the situations. But like some people try to ham you up. They try to, mess up your whole existence. But
Attack those morals. That's what it is.
you just gotta be self-aware of who you got in your life. Like I got like boundaries now. I'm not building a wall, but it's like I gotta stay gun on my boundaries. I can't, even if they decent, it's still like you can't put yourself in a situation to where you sharing your entire world with them because they'll take what they know and they'll try to snatch it or destroy it, especially if they can't like keep up with you. It's not your fault. Like a lot of people, and I'm learning that in the work environment, they get jealous of your success because it hasn't came for them. But people get what they act like. I don't give a hell how smart you are or something.
But that really goes back to the distance between 2 points in life is determined by your discipline to get there. So
But the
when
integrity part,
yeah, the
people
integrity.
get low and dirty thinking it's integrity.
So that's why I said, like you at your job, a person is jealous because you came in more disciplined, better integrity, and more determined than they was. So they feel like because I've been here 5 years, I deserve this job. Now I did what I was supposed to do while I've been here 5 years. Because sometimes a person could be at a job for 5 years and just there. Because we need an employee, you got employee numbers, but then you got a person to come in 6 months and do everything, learn the management, like do go over and beyond. So now this person that's there for 5 years is mad because this person got promoted.
But see, that's what I'm saying. When I think I knew everything, I had to look into myself and how people see me. So when I think I was being efficient and trying to conquer or execute the task of the day, I was being aggressive in other people's eyes. I was being, self-absorbed, too focused. Like I ain't have no.
But that was them trying to knock you off.
But
Yo,
at the end of the day, when you go through self-awareness, you just gotta learn from them lessons. But it ain't no judgment because how can I heal when I still got beef with certain aspects of the situation? So it's like it's a growing thing. And it's like it's helping me to move to the next level of what I want to be because I want to be successful, but I want people to understand me and I want to be attentive too to what they talking about. So it's a process like right now, reality check. I'm just observing, learning from it and announcing my emotions. Because if you try to keep covering up how you truly feel, you'll get caught up in another whirlwind and some bull crap. So like right now, Bromos, L boogie, boogie, boogie. It's tender on the inside, still hard as a rock on the outside. I'm going through some stuff. He always
tender. She
is.
Ain't no boogie little tenderoni on the inside.
I mean, I'm sweet. I'm a good person, but ain't no playtime. Ain't no playtime. Hear me, Hear me.
So, the fifth characteristic I wrote down was everybody in the world has one of these. You just got to figure out what it is. Passion. What is your passion? Passion is the object of someone's love, liking, or desire. When you live your passion, you are living your truth at your highest self and changes as you grow. So if you living in your passion, this is what you love to do. This is your highest truth. Like if you just doing something just to do it because somebody else said, "Oh, you're good. You be a good dancer, but you really love to sing, but you out here doing the dancing, you're not living in your truth. You're not really being who you can be at your highest point because that's not what you just going off of what somebody else said. And you could be a good dancer. Don't get me wrong.
Utilize all your skills. Some other skills make a check come quicker. That's all.
That's just how, like, in college, we had like 54-year-olds changing their whole life up because they like, my career wasn't my passion anymore.
That part.
They're like, I want to do something else. They have a whole start over.
Cause a lot of people's passion, I'm being completely honest, my passion was whatever. When I was growing up, my passion was whatever job had the highest paid salary. I wanted to be a doctor, whichever one. I was like, which one makes the most money? Because I thought just being a doctor, you did it all. You just went in. No, you got the brain surgeon, neurologist.
Every body part got its own doctor.
That part. But come to find out, the brain neurologist makes the most money. So that is what I wanted to be. But going to school for 12 years and all that, it just changed all of that. Like, and then when you talk to doctors, it's like you make good money, but you at work 14 hours a day most of the time on call. You could be out to eat with your family.
You're in debt for the rest of your life paying student loans forever.
Then you're in more debt because you probably got kids and they got to pay their tuition and all this other so, but no longer was my passion.
Some people don't think that for shine life over to some stuff. That's like debt affects people, their personality, their happiness, and that's another thing. Self-awareness, you gotta know what's your happy zone. Gotta figure that out.
Like, I thought culinary was my passion. I thought culinary was the shit. I thought that was gonna be me. My grandfather was a chef. My daddy was a chef. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna be next in line. No. It's stressful. It's stressful. I'm a combat, so I don't like all that stress.
You gotta constantly please your customers. And customers ain't choosing all the time. Because your food be good, they'll eat it up, but they'll be like, it wasn't right. But I ain't want to waste my time, but I don't want to pay for this. Fine.
See the thing with culinary arts is if you're good at cooking, is a hell of a thing. You gotta have a passion for it. Because cooking takes up a lot of time. It takes up a lot of time. So when you just cook, I'm trying to tell. Listen. you, you know what your passion is. So, like I said, it takes a lot of time to cook. And if you are a good chef, you're not just cooking for one person to like you cooking for boatloads of people. And that takes time. Your arm will be tired. Just imagine if you cooking, you gotta peel 1,000 potatoes to feed 50 people.
Trying to stay consistent, make sure each peel is the same, each mother.
And when people, depending on if you want to make good money, you're gonna have to be in a field where you have to be creative. It's all about presentation. It's not really about taste when it comes to people like that because a lot of it's about that presentation. If it come out pretty and looks good, they're gonna eat that shit and be like, oh, this is fire. But if it come out looking nasty, they ain't even gonna try to taste it, but it's good. But you definitely gonna have to have a passion with cooking in order to
and I'm like, this ain't that. No. Plus it's the long part of them bag.
But definitely, and so I written down 4 signs of a person who's highly self-aware. The first sign of a person who's highly self-aware is being able to listen more than you talk.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say it again.
I need to work on that since he's trying to put me out there.
So, Aaron,
I need to work on it.
So, Aaron, I want everybody to hear this again. 4 signs of a person who's highly self-aware. being able to listen more than you talk. Aaron, curious about your own mind.
Yeah, I got something against light skinned people. They always
Curious that then we got
I think it's a light skin thing then. 'Cause y'all just
No.
ask for another one is to ask for feedback and be able to take it well. I know a lot of people that ask you a question or ask you opinion and you give your honest opinion and they're upset with it. That's when it comes in. The truth hurts sometimes, but it's like to me, I feel like don't ask me my opinion if you don't want the truth. Because if I ask you and you give me the truth, it's not gonna be no peace. Some areas with this self awareness, I'm good at. Some areas I have to work on. But that area of ask for feedback and be able to take it in well, I'm good at that. Yeah,
I'm good at that. But
we like a
what
peer.
about you?
sometimes I don't know.
Asking for feedback and being able to take it well. He said,
That being able to take it well part, that's a big part. Because sometimes, like I said, we don't want the truth. For real. We just want people to
Tell us what we
stroke
wanna
our
hear.
ego.
Lie to
Yeah.
me. Real quick.
But
Just lie to me.
if
Let me
you
feel
really
better.
love somebody, it's not about making them
Right.
feel
Right,
good.
for real.
It's about making them better. If you really love somebody, it's all about making them better, not about making them feel good.
I like that.
Just like as a parent, they will whoop you. They will beat your ass because they don't want you to make that same mistake you made before. It wasn't about making you feel good. It was about making you a better person. So love is a creative, nurturing force. That's what it is. It ain't about a cute little happy feeling. It's about making better. That's what love is. Nurturing and molding that person into something better.
Love has different levels. Though.
Absolutely.
With a parent, if you steal something and you get your ass beat, that's discipline. You like if you steal in the world, bad stuff can happen to you.
right.
You can get hurt. You know what I mean? So that's training the person before you let them out in the world. But it's like you're adult now. Certain behaviors and certain things that people put on your shoulder because of their behaviors, it's like it's not tolerable. It's just not tolerable because they question your morals and your true value. And if you know your worth and who you are, it could damage you still because you emotionally hurt. Like you feel off with your judgment, or even though you was iffy about something, you still try to love it and you still try to, like maybe they'll get better. But like when you see it, they say believe it. Like you gotta run, bro. You gotta just straight run. So it's just like I gotta be cautious. Everybody, with all this going on in the world, you just gotta be cautious. Cause
Very aware.
yeah,
That's the key word.
That's it.
people,
Aware.
people playing the roles, man. They just trying to make it, but
People playing roles. Oh my God.
Oh,
you can't.
You said
that's
so.
what I felt.
You can't. But it's like either way, if you be honest, like Kurt said about the situation, maybe I'll rock with you. But you covering up and
Being around the bush and saying all that
man,
other shit.
it can destroy you. But I know better. I know I need to heal. I know I can't blame myself. I just
It's part of being very aware. So,
man, it's hard. It's trying to eat a bullet that you like, you know what I'm saying?
that morals part, huh?
It's growth and it's understanding. Sometimes instead of addressing something and keeping drama up and going through violence and stuff, you just gotta accept what it happened and just move forward. Get away from the situation or that person. But even if you stuck dealing with them at work or whatever the case, you just gotta find a happy place. And you still gotta acknowledge that you need to change yourself to get some goals or reach some areas that you want to become because people go test you, people go question you, people go doubt you, people go sabotage you. It's just life, bro. But, hey, boogie oogie, 10 toes down, baby.
All right.
That
Took
part.
it like a G. I got some knots, some bruises, some pain, scars, but made
Well,
it
that'll be
through.
all that
So,
jujitsu.
like I said, let me know I got something greater than a fox. And I'm rocking on that hope and that faith and focus, bro.
And the last one I got is they reflect on their values.
Yes, every day. Gotcha. Take at least 30 minutes out your day. Probably when you first wake up, like, did I just link up with two different niggas? Okay, get that out.
This is a family show.
We're talking.
Wow.
We're talking about reflecting on your values, your value to this world, your worth. Your worth.
Whitney. Y'all just wait, just talk nasty. No, nasty with this.
So let me say it in another word, to reflect on your worth, to understand your worth, to know your values.
Right. I'm like, I just let this nigga come over and I'm like, he didn't deserve
First
it.
night.
First night. Don't even know your name.
So
now,
even,
name me no more.
so even after having this little discussion of self-awareness, what areas do y'all feel like y'all need to work on, and what areas you think you're kind of good at?
Well, I would say, because we said something back in one of the other points about knowing your shortcomings, and that kind of been ringing in my head because sometimes it's not always a bad thing to focus on those because you should want to be better, you know, in certain areas that you notice, that you can notice yourself. Some things you can do yourself.
So are you bad at noticing those? Are you bad at just knowing those areas and just kind of put them off? Like, I'm not worried about the shortcomings.
Sometimes it feels like that.
Like some people just put off their weaknesses instead of trying to make them better. Just like I'm weak in this area.
They just put a spotlight on their qualities instead of looking at their shortcomings. But they spotlight their qualities only.
Because sometimes your shortcoming, if you work on it, can be better than your strengths that you got right now.
That's real.
For real.
That's what's holding you back from what needs to happen, but that's deep, man. Looking into yourself.
What you feel like you need to work on?
My response to other people's behaviors. I'm gonna keep it 100 because when something is revealed to me, I don't know how to, like, mentally, if I'm able to get away from it real quick and it happens, I can have time to think. But if I'm stuck in that situation, I got to deal with it. I just can't believe this happened to me, or somebody said something. It's like I'm gonna have to address it instead of should just kept my mouth shut and sorry for who it was. For some people, you think cool until you get to know them a little bit better, and you like, what the? And then you in a atmosphere to where you have to be professional, or you got to keep your pockets tight. You know what I'm saying? But you got to grow. You got to defeat every situation, and when bad things happen, you got to fight the bullet. Stay positive. Keep fighting until you get it. But once you get it,
It's yours.
boom.
Don't let it go.
I think some people are good people. They just damaged.
Yeah.
No,
that's deep.
I'm just saying, they really are good people.
That's
They
deep.
just damaged. I mean, life can fuck you up.
That came from our previous episode where,
Yeah,
that's why I said it come from our previous episode where we were talking about mental abuse. And people being mental abused, and that's how we led up to this kind of self-awareness, because a lot of times people ain't self-aware.
I wouldn't say that. It's just until they look within and
No,
like
he said,
really
"Are you one of those people that is
damaged
damaged?
goods. I don't think
That's
so.
damaged, but is a good person, but have been damaged during her life." Because that's basically what he's saying. You've been damaged. You're a good person, but you've been damaged that your trust is messed. A lot of things is messed up, and you don't intentionally to come off like that.
That's right. But when you heal, or you know you can heal, you know what I'm saying. A lot of people don't
a lot of
get
people
credit.
haven't even healed.
I know, but just acknowledging it and facing it as it happened.
Say it again.
God, this shit.
Say it again.
A lot of people don't know that they are damaged.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people will. And those are the
Yeah.
people that are not self-aware, and that comes from not just saying, "Oh, this is a fact," but it comes from their parents not being self-aware, or the people they was around not being self-aware that they damaged this person to the point to where this person don't even know they're damaged because it's normal to them until they run into somebody that be like, "No, bruh, you're damaged." Like, this is not normal. It was like, shoot, I grew up like this. How everybody, we all talk to each other like this.
No, that's disrespectful.
That part.
You can change the things that's not appropriate from your childhood, right? You're gone now. But some people
it's
don't
hard.
know.
See, that's why it comes into that mental abuse thing where you can mentally abuse a person so much that it's hard for them to want or know change, going back to slavery. If you think about it, you got 700 black people and 3 white men and 3 horses. And all of these black folks is listening to that. All they got to do is whoop these. But they have been, when they were born, bred from their parents that this is right. This is what you're supposed to do. And that's why they just went right along with it because they was, you know what I mean? So until somebody was like, pat, 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 pat. That's how my lips got big. But and it was like, no, this is, there you go. What was her name? What was her name that took her to the surgeon?
It was a few.
Harriet Tubman. That
He said,
When that time, he would have killed the whole
You underground stories that we ain't really heard. They ain't teaching us. Like, I ain't heard about Nat Turner till like as an adult.
See, they keep his name down.
For real. Real quick, explain who he is because I don't even know who he is.
He was a revolutionary, and what he did was, it was basically like a lot of, he had like a service and called a lot of white people to church or whatever. And then when he got them in the church, killed them all. And then they ended up.
Did I laugh? Oops. Did I laugh?
No, he was back. He was way back. Yeah.
That's crazy. I grew up my whole life and have never been told that story.
The only Nat term I knew was the porn star.
what just happened?
Just came in.
That part. But that's even crazy, but so that was, I feel like that was enough we talked about on self-awareness. So we're gonna take this next few minutes and I want Q to actually explain his page and what he wants to give out and, you know what I mean, the message he wants to deliver because it's also very intriguing.
Well, I've come to believe that many of our illnesses, spiritual, physical, and mental, are associated with our poor food choices. I believe that food has been, so a lot of times we use it as comfort and we just eat a lot of times what tastes good, but it's not necessarily good for us. even when we cook, a lot of times we just cook it to make it taste good, but it doesn't have any value nutritionally for us as we get done with it. Even though we got greens, we done put bacon fat and everything off in the greens. Ain't no nutritional value to it at all. And they taught the slaves to eat a certain, because we brought that up, but they were taught to given a certain diet. Food can control you. It affects the way you think. It affects your spirit. It affects so much, and they know it's a science to it. And when I say they, I'm not just talking about white people. I'm talking about the people that's in control. It's not just white people that's in control. So I don't want you to come off that I'm being racist or nothing like that. So when I say they, I'm just talking about the powers that be. Yeah, you are what you eat, and they know that. And so we eat all these things that are killing us, these foods, and we on medications. We don't have to die with high blood pressure and diabetes just because it runs in the family. That it doesn't run in the family. Poor teaching runs in the family. The lack of understanding runs in the family, but diabetes necessarily doesn't run in the family.
Well,
we don't have to die like that, but it's because of the things we've been taught. All this so-called soul food that ain't good for your soul at all. You know, it's killing us. And it's all strategic to keep us coming back and forth to the doctor. They give you medicine that ain't healing you. Because if it heals you, you wouldn't have to refill the prescription. Why you gotta refill your prescriptions if these medicines are healing you?
Right.
They ain't meant to heal you. They're meant to keep you coming back, to keep filling their pockets. So my desire is to help. Now I won't say educate, but remind you. Because that's what I am. I'm your brother. I'm just here to remind you of the benefits of eating better foods. We are the best and we deserve the best. There are such benefits in food. Food is medicine if you use it properly. And that's my goal is to just I'm not trying to bash people to eat meat or anything like that. Even if you go on my page, the name of it is Leave That Heifer Alone.
That's catching. I love that.
But it's not trying to bash people to eat meat. If you go back through any post, it ain't about bashing people to eat meat. It's just about showing the benefits of eating better foods and what it can do for your body. If we get a cold, we instinctively go get orange juice because we know it has what we need in it. Versus just drinking orange juice on a regular basis to build our immune system.
Right.
You know, because we already know if our stomach is something wrong with our stomach, we go get ginger ale. Because ginger has so many qualities in it that helps benefit our bodies. We just instinctively do this.
Right.
You know, because we're spiritual people anyway, and we just instinctively, like I said, go get it. But orange juice isn't a magic potion. You don't just drink it and get better. We're supposed to drink it on a regular basis to build our immune system, to fight against viruses and things of that nature. There's benefits in eating better foods to where you won't need all of these medications that they're giving us. I struggle with depression and anxiety. I was on all these medicines and pills and things, and I didn't like the side effects. All these medicines have side effects, and I didn't like what I was feeling, so I started looking into certain foods to help change the way I felt. And so that is one part of why I even got into eating different foods, is because I didn't like the side effects I was getting from the medicines that I was taking.
And what was some of them foods that?
Like for one, blueberries. Blueberries help with anxiety. You know, like I said, it's a lot of foods that react differently with our bodies. We just have to look more into it. And yeah, as I said, we don't, like I said, a lot of times we look at foods, we just look for what tastes good. All this fast food is trash and it's killing us. It's all strategic. It's all strategic to kill us and to keep us in and out of hospitals. And the Food and Drug Administration, the FDA, they go together. That's why it works together. They teach you to eat the wrong foods so they can later put you on drugs. And you stuck taking 12, 13 pills a day for the rest of your life. It's all a vicious cycle that we don't have to take part in. And we don't have to die with all these illnesses that we have. We just have to make some personal changes. We're talking about being aware of ourselves. We have to be aware of what's going on around us, and all this is strategic. And we don't have to die this way. And that's what I'm trying to do is to help encourage us to want better for ourselves, spiritually, mentally, and physically. Um, we don't have to die like this.
I agree with you.
We don't. We just don't. And so, if you ever go on the page, like I said again, leave that heifer alone. Right now, it's just on Facebook, but I'm looking to branch out into some other avenues. But it's all about like I said, it's about self awareness. It kind of ties directly into the topic. Being aware of the foods you eat, what you do to your body. Spiritual, take time out and pray and meditate. Sometimes the world can be so busy, we don't just take time to stop and just think.
That part.
Just be grateful for what we have, like we were talking about earlier. But like I said, that's my goal is to help push the idea that we don't have to die with any physical condition some things are, going to happen in life to our bodies, but some things we can change. Yeah, some things we absolutely can change. And we can't sit here and constantly pray to God to change our situation, and we don't attempt to change any of our own situations.
Say that again.
I mean, we can't keep praying to God to change our situation, and we don't attempt to change our situation. Some things we can do ourselves. And that's what my goal is, to push the idea that some things we can do ourselves with his help, of course. But save those prayers. We're gonna need them later, But just stop supersizing. We can't supersize it all the time, and eat all this trash. I mean, it's affecting we can't function to the best of our abilities when we're sick. And we just cannot. It's like we got a lot going on, and so we can't function to the best of our abilities when we're sick. We need to be at our best. We need everybody on deck, all soldiers, all hands on deck. We need everybody functioning to their full capacity.
Especially
Get
during
your
this
body
season.
Yeah. So we need everybody functioning to their full capacity. They already killing us in the streets. We don't need nothing else taking us out.
That part. And so if there, because a lot, because even with me, it's like I want to eat healthy, but it's kind of like, are there really good substitutes in the healthy department that kind of really like kind of tastes like the regular food, but just ain't like, because because turkey bacon is horrible, but I tried turkey burger, which was good, and it's kind of like plant-based foods. Is those foods really tasteful, or are they just healthy?
Right now, I'm pescatarian, where I do eat some fish and veggies. Um, I'm working on directing my diet totally plant-based. Hopefully, by the end of the year, I intend to be totally plant-based, even away from fish. Now, some of those plant-based dishes are good and delicious. Some of the shit's gross. I'm not even gonna sit here and lie to you and tell you that no celery tastes like no rib. I'm not gonna, I'm not even gonna do that. But some of the stuff is good. Like I love cauliflower wings now. Take them and season them up good, stick them in the oven, put a little
Cauliflower wings.
Yeah, that's like hot wings. I make them just like hot wings. Except I don't fry them. I make them in the oven.
They do lessons like that too.
I mean, they flame. Some of that stuff is good. I promise.
They batter on.
So do you take the wings and mix it with the cauliflower?
No, you take the cauliflower, you season it, and oven bake it, and then dip it in a hot sauce.
Look at me, the grease man. You still keep chicken in there some kind of way.
I love black bean burgers. I mean, I love them. They're good. Like I said, but some of the stuff I just can't get with. But I've even tried walnut meat before. There's a restaurant out on 38th and Midhofer, the cul-de-sac that I went to before. They have this walnut meat on these nachos. It's like A1. I really don't vibe good with tofu. I tried it. and just saying, what I'm saying? Stuff I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. Some stuff is good, but some stuff I just can't get with. But there are substitutes. Um, that you don't have to eat meat, and even if you do eat meat, eat less meat. This meat isn't. They're not raising this stuff.
Less rare.
I would say, yeah, cook it. Yeah, but even outside of meat, beans is your highest source of protein outside of meat. Yeah, but like beans, like I said, I love no Great Northern beans or the Navy bean. Those are like the highest source. But there are other ways to get the protein that you need and still be. A lot of NFL players are plant based. You would never think that these big ass dudes eating veggies all the time. It's a show. Uh, it was on Netflix. Damn, I can't even think of the name of it right off the top of my head, but it's talking about like how how these foods are like I said, but there's so many people in NFL and all this all plant based. You don't have to eat a bunch of meat. That stuff is killing us. It wasn't even in the beginning. I mean, that wasn't even intention. When the children of Israel and all that was coming back, they weren't intending to eat meat, but they kept crying and complaining. So Lord gave them quails and manna from heaven and stuff. But they wasn't intended to eat meat all the time. It's not good for our bodies. And so, like I said, my number one objective is to help us make better choices in the foods that we eat because it affects our spirit, mind, and soul. And so we can be, at our full capacity.
That part.
Yeah, like
Boogie's big on that because she has to eat healthy herself. As far as it was some stuff that she was trying to give me one time, and I was like, "What is it? Yeah. I don't know what that.
With me, I had to bump the taste. It's good for your body. You just got
that's it ain't about taste. Like I said, we've been taught to eat based on what it tastes like, not about based on what it do for you. And so they got all this poison that tastes good, and that's what we eat. A bunch of poison. Yeah. Killing our babies, the future, your future, all based on what it tastes like.
Because that's why I even heard something, because it was somebody on YouTube where it was like a 10-minute video about how they tell you you're supposed to wake up in the morning and have your breakfast, eat your sausage, your bacon, and this and that. And they was like, really, in the morning, you need to just wake up and drink a bottle of water, get your electrolytes going, or fruit or something. But they was like, you wake up every morning eating, they killing you slowly because they telling you to eat what you ain't supposed to every morning. You need to eat bacon, sausage, all these, all this pancake, that waffle, all that. Even though eggs is a good source of protein, but
I'm learning.
But you take out eat the egg white. It's good.
I'm still learning as I go. It's still a lot, still a lot of things I gotta learn, but that's what it is. We're in a journey. It's a process. I don't recommend anybody to just try cutting out meat cold turkey. I don't recommend doing nothing cold turkey because that's going, like a shock to your body. But it's a process. Constantly, everywhere. I'm being real. I'm being totally real. It's a process. Every day, just try to do something better. Drink an extra bottle of water that you didn't drink yesterday. Cut back on weight. You might have got a 6-piece. Just eat 5 a day. You know what I'm saying? But it's try to constantly wean yourself down. Like I said, right now I'm just eating fish and veggies. But I do want to cut that out eventually too because I'm like the water ain't clean, so the fish can't be clean either.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. And so like really, we need to work on growing our own stuff because ain't none of this stuff. Like I said, they mass produce the stuff, the vegetables too.
I've seen everything.
They mass produce it and it end up not having the nutrients in it that we even need because they just mass producing it. Anything that doesn't have a seed in it, any fruit, is not real. And you're not getting any substance from it. You're just eating something. Everything that God made has a seed so it can reproduce itself. That's nature.
But a lot of that organic stuff don't have seeds.
If it doesn't have a seed, it's not organic. Organic means it has a seed to reproduce itself the way God intended. Like I said, anything seedless is made in the lab. It's not natural. There's nothing in it. You're just eating something. There's no substance to it. Yeah, like I said, but
But
all
you know
this is
what I mean?
strategic to keep us in and out of hospitals and to keep us sick and to keep us dead. So we cannot fulfill our purpose. You have so much to give. Don't let them kill you and rob you of your purpose and rob your children of what you have to give. You have so much to offer. Do not allow them to rob you of that based on a combo.
So therefore, everybody get their own chickens and cows in their own backyard.
I mean,
Grow your own shit.
Grow your
I'm
own
with
shit.
it.
I'm with
I
it.
want a farm.
Grow your own stuff. So you know what it is. So you know what it is. Grow your own stuff so you know what it is. But we don't have to die like they intended for us to die. You ain't got to be crippled on no canes and taking all these pills. Some of that stuff we can reverse. I don't even care how deep you into it. Some of that stuff we can reverse by changing our habits.
Netflix video or YouTube video when this lady had like 6 different pills she'd been taking for like the last 10 years or whatever. And then she started eating healthy and shit. And then she dropped that. She don't take shit. Just
see. And working out, like I said, that's like the next step. But working out is one aspect of it because just because you work out don't mean you eat right. Eating right is the objective. Everybody that eats right is healthy, but some people that work out is healthy. Everybody that eats right is healthy. That's the objective, is being healthy. It's not about being skinny because everybody that's skinny isn't healthy. You're just skinny. Some people are just gonna be thick. I mean, deal with it, embrace it. Embrace it. Some people just gonna be thick. Embrace that. It ain't about being skinny, but it's about being healthy. Make healthier choices. We can live. They live 900 and some years all in the Bible. The thing that changed was our diet. We got McDonald's now. They didn't have McDonald's way back then. McDonald's is trash. Don't eat none of that. I don't want nothing from there. Maybe a coffee. That's about it. But it's all. They'll put that in there for you, But yeah.
Can I get 2 sugar, 2 crunch, please?
Like I said, I won't recommend fast food to anybody. There's nothing in it. It's trash.
Even in the meat, a lot of people don't know the little red dye. I think it's like
Walmart's
dioxide nitrate, but that shit
keep it looking fresh.
It causes cancer.
Yeah.
Within the body.
Talking about the red dye.
Yeah, that your meat soaking in to supposedly stay fresh, but it's.
And they want us not to wash our meat. Fuck out of here. Gotta wash that dye off.
That part, because
you really gotta let it soak. Like I would do it like apple cider vinegar and some water. Then you beat it, get it all out, dip it again. Man, you gotta beat your meat. That's what it be tender. Be tender, but we talking about. I'm in a room full of meat lovers, and I'm talking about some healthy shit. I thought that was the topic. That is fried. That is fried. I swear. Anyway, meat is protein, but they live by it clearly.
But I've been blessed. I've had like a couple of presentations. I try to do classes at least twice a month. I had a yoga instructor come on. I had a chef come on. A life coach came on and gave a class. Even this coming weekend, I have a identity coach that's going to be on Saturday. I have a couple this Sunday. He's a chef. She's a therapist. He's going to cook and she's going to talk about how those foods affect our bodies. And so I'm trying to just share information to help us be better. It ain't about me blowing up, and I don't care nothing about that. You probably won't ever see me on nothing again because I just want to get the information out.
Sharing knowledge and resources and uplifting your people to be healthier, better, smarter, so we can come together one day and defeat all our adversities as a unity of people. So it's gonna take more than one person. Like Kurt said, you ain't gotta be the best of everything, but whatever you into, whatever your passion, contribute to the world, give back to your people in the community, evolve. stay humble,
Mm-hmm.
stay knowledgeable, self-awareness, most definitely. Be aware of mental abuse and different anxieties and find your trigger points. Deal with it. You know, it's hard to walk away sometimes. When you know somebody triggered you.
That's why I
It's
said
hard
it.
to walk
That's
away
why I said it's
sometimes.
hard to be humble sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like I said, when I started working on my diet, when I wake up in the morning, I'm not even like as heavy and groggy as I used to be. I mean, wake up refreshed. You know, not you sometimes just be heavy when you wake up in the morning, just sluggish.
Yeah.
And you know,
The spirit is fresh.
yeah, yeah.
Rejuvenate.
And like I said, and nowadays people are so tired nowadays anyway, just constantly exhausted because, and we talking about being self-aware. We're exhausted because we're being somebody else. And that's exhausting as fuck, being somebody else.
Or not detoxing your body.
You know, we live in somebody else's plan for our life, and it's wearing us out. And so we don't know who we are because we're doing what we've been programmed to do. We're just robots, and it's wearing us out. That's why we're just tired all the time.
That's a important point. I'm happy you said that because a lot of people don't realize, like, if you wake up feeling some type of way, you can change your situation. But if you keep thinking about the negative, your whole day gonna end up being ruined because you just stay thinking about something that made you unhappy. When you're unhappy, it takes stuff out of your body, out of your organs.
And I don't care what your situation presently is, it does not have to stay that way. I don't care how negative your present situation is, it does not have to stay that way. It can change, you can come up from it, but there's going to take some effort on your part. We can't just pray and just wait for God to do everything. There's things we can do ourselves right now to help change our
Say
situation.
yourself.
That part.
Say yourself.
But I thank y'all for this opportunity to come on and share some thoughts.
Let them know what that page called again and your name.
Leave that heifer alone.
Leave that heifer alone.
On social media, I'm Corey Khalil. In the streets, I'm cute. But I'm your brother.
That part, Bromos for life, and that's at Facebook. He's on Facebook at Leave That Help Alone.
Absolutely.
Leave that heifer.
So before we get out of here tonight, I got one question for y'all. Y'all can respond once it's uploaded to YouTube. And for my co-host and guest, what is something you learned about the gay scene that you didn't know before you entered it?
I would say that sometimes people act a certain way because they feel like that's the way they're supposed to act. Like it's the stereotypes of what a gay person's supposed to be. You know, just this flamboyant, loud, obnoxious. You know, you could still be a nigger and be gay. You don't have to be this tie your shirt in a knot type of dude.
Oh my God.
That does not necessarily, you know what I'm saying? You can be yourself and still enjoy the company of a man and play video games and smoke weed and, you know, all of the above. You don't have to be, that's something that I learned. You don't have to be what people said you're supposed to be. Just be yourself. Be aware of what you like and what you don't like. If you do like to tie your shirt tonight, fuck it, tie your shirt tonight. I'm not saying, I'm not talking against nobody. I don't want nobody to think that. I'm just saying you don't have to be what people say you're supposed to be. Do you. And there's nothing wrong with that. And you can still do your thing.
That part. I know one thing that I didn't know coming into this scene. I just thought it was just plain Jane. It is what it is. But coming into this scene, I didn't know there was tops, bottoms, top verse, bottom verse, sideways verse, toppity top, of the bottom bottom. Like I didn't know. I just thought like if you were kind of the feminine guy, you was the one. I didn't call it tops or bottom. I called it you was the one getting penetrated. or if you was masculine, you was the one doing the penetration.
Mm-hmm.
But coming into this scene, ooh, I learned it was I learned it was levels to it. It was levels to it. No, because it's real. Because when you come into the scene and you have a conversation with guys, they be like, "You top, bottom, first." I'm like, what? I just thought that we were
late night podcast, late night version.
Right.
But they getting it.
Don't get me talking about why I didn't figure it out.
There's a lot of things that we can talk about that don't have to be vulgar or deep. Like I just said, I didn't know that there was different levels to being gay. I just thought you were gay. I didn't know that you could be there. Some were tops, some were bottoms, some were top verse, some was bottom verse, some is just fully verse. I just thought it was two positions.
Are you the girl or the boy?
Basically,
people still don't understand that, but like getting deeper into that, that's why I mentioned like after hours podcast, like 'cause that stuff can get deep.
We're getting deep into it.
Well, we ain't like getting deep. It's just kind of
it's normal for y'all because y'all that's y'all lingo. That's y'all.
No. What I'm saying is before you what I'm saying is before you came into the actual gay scene and participated in it, you had to have some kind of thoughts of what you thought it was, and is it what you thought it was, or coming into it, it was like, damn, this ain't what I thought the gay scene was like. Like me, I didn't know the drugs was bad, and I didn't know that. No, I didn't. I didn't think coming into the community it was gonna be full of drugs. Like I just thought we were men and men. I thought it was gonna be a lot of sex, but I just thought that's just kind of what it was. But even you being a female, your experience in your life and what you go through is nothing that what we go through. We're all in the same community, but what we go through ain't what you go through. So what is like something that, let me put it another way, what is something that kind of messed you up about coming into the gay scene that you didn't think?
It's a lot of women out here on the DL them goddamn selves, and they got a lot of husbands and side pieces and feminine pieces, and they like them all. They like them feminine. They like studs. They like. I even learned like what was K-sexual. What the like I don't whatever it is pansexual. You just like it's crazy and it's weird because it's some things about y'all that I'm like y'all don't even care about the name or nothing. It's just y'all want what y'all want. Like women gotta get to know you a little bit so they won't feel sluttish or some shit. But it's like y'all just want that one action, and that's all y'all need. And I'm like, man, I mean, it's one thing being doggish or whorish or whatever, thought water, but it's like you just cold hearted. And they cold hearted, and it's crazy. How can you feel some type of way about anything and you don't even know the basis of who this person is, their profile? It's just people remember people by their signs, that Libra, that Cancer.
But see, but even what
what
you just said is going to lead into a question I'm gonna ask y'all tonight, but we're gonna answer it Friday. But which is what I'm about to ask you now, which it kind of lead into it with what I asked you. Do you feel like sex is the determination of a healthy relationship? Do you feel like if the sex is bad, that it's not going to be? Because for instance, if you say sex is a major part of the determination of a relationship, because I just kind of feel like it is, and I feel like no matter what anybody says, it is, because if the sex is bad, We're gonna finish talking about it on Friday. So
Good.
thank y'all for tuning in with us tonight.
He put us on the spot and nobody's prepared for that.
So thank y'all for tuning in with us tonight. Yours truly, Curtis. Curtis, aka C Money, and my two lovely go-getting co-hosts, D French and Boogie Oogie.
I don't like what you say.
And definitely appreciate my guest tonight, Q, for coming in, spreading his knowledge and his word.
Thank y'all for having me.
Hey, welcome.
That part.
Bromos life, everybody's welcome, nobody's judged. Like, I'm a female, they guys, but it's Bromo love. I mean, yeah,
Alexa,
we love everybody. Good vibes only though. We love everybody. Them lips is forming.
Alexa, play C Murder down for my niggas.
What's wrong with it? You right.
That part.
Right. Right.
Well, we gonna leave out of here with Mo. Alexa, play Mo 3.
Here's some music by Mo 3 on Amazon Music.
He's known.
But you know, you guys, what we do it in moderation. See you till Friday.
Rejuvenate.
That part. Love, peace, and happiness.
No lip action. Cut. Cut.
You have a good night. Thanks.